All right, a lot of people think they know about the situation with Noah and post flood getting off the ark, etc., where it's expressed that he was drunk and then one of his sons did some crazy off the walls, just straight up bananas type behavior to him. As I always say, there's what people say. It might be exciting, but then it may just be wrong. And the thing that makes it wrong is the fact that what they're saying, for one, doesn't come from the book. And second, it actually contradicts the book because the book tells you. So let's get into it. First, when we get into this, we need to understand Ham because that's Noah's son that this involves. So Ham, also pronounced Cam, okay? It's pronounced Cam. Cam is a name and it has a meaning. It's, for those where, you like to use the concordances, nothing wrong with that. It's just remember a concordance doesn't replace the scripture. So it's concordance number 2526. It expresses it, okay? First thing with this man and his name, again, because so again, people think these are characters. Human beings have names. So again, Cam is where we get the phrase Kemet, believe it or not. Cam and Kemet is the same thing. It's a man, his lineage. He's the beginning of a bloodline, therefore the bloodline is named after him. So you have Kemet, no matter the English spelling, Kemet. See how it's the same thing when you say it. So anyways, let's dive into this. So first, we're going to start off with Genesis 9 and 19. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. So the entire earth, post flood, this is post flood, was repopulated with the sons of Noah. Now, there's idiots that will say it was one man, Noah, but as you can clearly see, it was through his three sons. It wasn't Noah. So I just wanted to reiterate that. But for the sake of this, we're going to focus on this section starting at verse 20. And Noah began to be a husbandman. This is the beginning to understanding the nakedness being uncovered of Noah. Okay, is that he began to be a husbandman. This is key. And he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. We need to see the meaning connected to Noah began to be a husbandman, and he was uncovered within his tent. See, the book defines this. What people are doing is they're reading this and they're using their imaginations to fill in the lazy blanks that they have in their mind. That's what people will generally do. I don't respect that because, again, it's just laziness. So let's get some understanding. Same book, but chapter 2, verse 24. It says, therefore shall a man, because Noah is a man, leave his father and his mother, and shall do what? Cleave unto his woman. This is what it means to be a husbandman. We see the parallel standard right here. And they both shall be one flesh. This is key in understanding how Noah was left uncovered in his tent that we literally just read. When you want true understanding, you cannot have a short attention span. So let's keep tapping the gas here. We're going to go again, same book, Genesis chapter 9, now verse 22. And Cam, again, Kemet, it's the same man that began the Kemetic bloodline. the father of Canaan. Canaan is Kemetic because that's his father. He saw the nakedness of his father, because remember, the father's uncovered in his tent, and told his two brethren without. So from this is what needs to be defined, not using people's emotions and lazy conclusion jumping. We're going to actually use the precepts, because it's through the precepts we get understanding. So now we're going to shift gears. We're going to remain in the books of Moses, but because the majority of Moses' books are giving us these definitions of these things. So Leviticus 18:8, it says, the nakedness of your father's woman shall you not uncover. It is your father's nakedness. Clear definition. What is your father's nakedness? The nakedness of your father's woman. Well, didn't Noah become a husbandman? Didn't him and his wife cleave together and become one flesh? When you use precepts, you get understanding. When you use your imagination, you become a fool. Let's move forward. We're going to stay in Leviticus. We're going to go to chapter 20 and verse 11. It says, and the man that does what? Lies with his father's woman. What has he done? Has uncovered his father's nakedness. Well, wasn't Noah's nakedness uncovered? Wasn't he a husbandman? Didn't he have a woman that he cleaved to? See how this is just unfolding when you organically use the precepts in the book. You will never see Ham doing anything to his father.
What exactly did Ham do to his father Noah? At the end of Genesis 9, we have this strange narrative where Noah gets drunk. He's lying naked inside his tent, and his son Ham comes in and sees the nakedness of his father, and then goes outside and tells his two brothers about it. Now, we'll cover more of the narrative in just a minute, but do know that this story has led to some speculations with regard to exactly what Ham did to his father. There are theories out there that Ham actually castrated his father, or sodomized his father, or committed incest with his mother, or committed incest with his mother, or committed incest with his mother.
There's the third party here. The woman is counted as the man because they're one flesh. Let's keep tapping the gas. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 30. It says, a man shall not take his father's woman. You see that? And the reason why, I'll just reiterate, that woman is one flesh with that man. Not only is it, incest according to Leviticus, but it's also a compound sin of adultery. But a man shall not take his father's woman, nor discover his father's skirt. The father's skirt is defined as the father's woman, because in theory, the woman wears the skirt. So finally, Deuteronomy 27 and verse 20, it says, cursed be he that does what? Lies with his father's woman. The woman is the skirt. The woman is the nakedness of that man, as we've seen. It's so backwards how people will read something, it says what it says, and they'll deny that, but then they'll accept and digest an emotional just doctrine or an emotional just breakdown. It's straight up bananas. But then it says, because he uncovers his father's skirt, because that's the father's nakedness, and all the people shall say amen. So this is just, I just wanted to document this. It's clear, straight, direct, to the point. Doesn't matter what anybody said. Yes, people can have opinions, but most people take opinions as just correct because the opinion was expressed in an exciting way, or the opinion was expressed in an emotional attached way. You know, a lot of y'all deserve, to be manipulated because you just accept any old random thing. But as far as this goes, that's all I have for now, as it is written, and I'm out.
Or committed incest with his mother.